Jehovah Witness, Christians, and Catholics. There's a YouTube video, and I would listen to it many times. And many times it told me to rise up and do things. And I was saying, I'm going to be what it says, and I'll be the lion, and I'm ready to fight the three enemies. I didn't know what I was getting into. But I speak to God, and God speaks to me in miracle message, and I told you, and I tell you, I'm Him now. And so is many that listen to that same YouTube video. But in that YouTube video, it says we have a very real enemy, and a real enemy is real. But the God says, our Father says it's together. We stand up together in passing the message of bullying. That's what God says. That's one of them. And the real enemy is very real. And I say I could take on the enemy. But God says you can't take him on by yourself. In a way that it doesn't work by himself. God said, when you're in free spirit, you'll take him on by yourself. You'll bang his head in, God said. You'll finally get to do those who listen to the video. But in this world, God said, in this world, you have to pass the message like that YouTube video says, a very real enemy that everybody listens to. It's together, God said in that video, it should say, it's together. And one of them today, the word is to pass the message that God doesn't accept bullying. It may be the traps of the three dummy idiots. I was like that video. I would hear and I would say, God, I want to be the one and only to defeat the three idiots by myself. But God said, you can't do it in this world by yourself. But now I tell you, my children of the world, God says you have to do it together and pass the message, Jehovah Witness, that God doesn't accept bullying and will never accept it. And those who see bullying, those who ignore it, you will be a victim of bullying. Your children will be a victim of bullying. You may think by telling the teacher one time, but as soon as, I don't mean to say it. As soon as you tell someone one time that please help my child out if they're in bullying, as soon as they turn around 3 weeks later, they're again at it. Not everybody, but it happens, God said. On this January 3rd of 2025. But I tell you, your God is stronger than ever. It's worked together. We are all in the forefront to help each other out and pass the message, God said. I didn't understand it, God said. I didn't understand that we had a real enemy. It was a motivation video. I was ready to put on a real shield and a real helmet and ready to bring it on with God or by myself. I wanted for God to see me, to give me the gold armor, the gold everything, the gold sword. I was ready. But I realize now, and God's telling me it's not about the gold shield. It's not about, it's together, it's passing the message, and now it's time to pass it on, God said. We all have a sword of faith now. And the sword of faith is to make sure you won't never drop it. You tell the three enemies, we don't accept bullying. We're all together. We're with God, and we come together and we come as one. But the message continues to say today, my Father, your Father, I tell you, God, pass the message. You're not doing your job. You will have your family line bullied because the moment you think you won't be attacked, you'll be attacked, God says. You're right. You're right. Meaning you deserve a gold shield, but not in this world, God said. He'll give it to you personally when you're in heaven and you know what you're going against you. But you have to take my word today. God says that pass the message of bullying. I need you to continue it. The enemies don't stop there every day attacking. God says every single day, and you may think you're not going to ignore it no more, God says. You're going to assume that your kids are going every day and are the ones being attacked. That's how God says it. That's how you're supposed to think and say, I'm not the one by myself. It's many of us. God's in the front lines as well, right there. He doesn't leave you alone, your Father. He doesn't let you fight alone. It's together, God says, in a freedom way. Does the United States let you go alone? God says. Will they let you go alone in a war zone? Likely not. That's how God is. That's how God wants us together in a positive way. We'll stop there.